Hello, my friends. My name is Jeffrey Hubble. My spirit name is Golden Sun. My Indian name is White Horse. Shunkawakan Ska, given to me by the spirits, by the elders long ago. But I'm just a humble servant. That's all I do. I'm here. I've gone through all my trials and tribulations still. Challenges. Anything you could get caught in, I probably have been tested. What they often say, it's the old people would say, you can't have a testimony without the test. So we're here to free ourselves. We're here to walk in freedom consciousness, heaven on earth, the kingdom of God within. The kingdom of God really means consciousness, freeing your consciousness from the entrapment of matrix, entrapment of what this world has been for eons of time, the challenge, the darkness, the suffering that the people have gone through, the challenge to get ahead, the challenge to the beliefs that we've been subject to from those powers that be. I call them powers that were, the 1%ers that control 99% of the wealth and all that. Sinister forces got in here. We've had 6 golden ages. They've all went down like Lemurian Atlantis, the Ascended Master teachings say. They say we're entering the 7th and permanent golden age. We're never going down again. So these are the times. This is the freedom age. This is the greatest lifetime ever. Going from the crystalline, the karma to the crystalline. We're leaving the 3rd to the 5th dimension and beyond. Higher consciousness, freedom, peace and harmony, heaven on earth. But it's a process, as we know, every step of the way. Now, I do a lot of research. I'm a researcher. I researched a lot of what's going on behind the scenes, what the light forces are doing, countering the dark forces, how we're getting, they call them the white hats and the dark hats. And I'm not talking about separation consciousness. I'm talking about God and the devil. I'm not talking about good and evil per se. I'm just saying, whatever it is, how we got our world down this far. And the Master said that we did it to ourselves. It wasn't bad guys, the devil did it to us. No, we were the ones that took the temptation. We were the ones that took the bait. We were the ones that forgot about God. We were the ones that forgot about that. What we were supposed to be doing in this world is staying close to our I am presence, God within, higher self, every step of the way, non-stop. So I call him my I am presence, my higher self, my I am presence. I need my fan, my eagle, my hawk fan. I wake up every morning, I say, I am presence. Victory of the light, I call you down. Charge again, charge again, charge again. Intensify and expand. My mighty cosmic, your mighty cosmic light of victory in, through, and around me. And see to it that not but the Ascended Master victory is with me. Mighty beloved, I am presence, I thank you. So, when we glorify the I am, the higher self, spark of God within, the light of God, the Christ heart self, the cosmic Christ within, it's said in the writings of the Ascended Masters that we will always have perfection in our worlds. We will never have lack of anything. And the sinister forces will never bother us. the rest of eternity. When we align with the inner, the God within, constantly and continually, without a break, perpetually sustained, the presence. So we make affirmations, constant affirmations about that in the writings of Ascended Masters. And there's this one really amazing one that I wrote I want to share. If I can find it. It says, I am the light of God that never fails. I am the light of God that never failed. I am the God in me, the I am presence, spark of God, higher self, Christ self, God in me. I am the light of God that never fails. I am the victory of the light. I am the victory light. I am the victory light. You are the victory light. You are the victory light. You are the victory light. The I am in me is the same I am is in you. I am is the only activity in the hearts and minds of humanity everywhere. Talking to the I am in you and everything. Freeing ourselves. And so, I don't really know how to start this, but we've been under a, I'm just going to read. It's a system that we've been under, a financial system that's changing now. We're changing from a quantum financial system. I'm not going to try to explain, I'm just going to read. Quantum financial system. And I'm going to tell you now, I'm going to tell you in the middle, I'm going to tell you at the end. You go on Telegram and you look up something called NESARA, capital letters, NESARA, NESARA, /GESARA, GESARA. It's National Economic Reclamation Act. And it was signed in many years ago. It's had a hard time getting started. It's a law. It's been enacted. And it's changing our money system to a gold-backed system again. It's freeing us from the debt slave system, the fiat, the money system that's all paper money that's just built on credit, has no backing, has no solidity. And what happens when this happens is that endless wealth is going to come back to the people. Endless amounts of trillions of dollars that have been confiscated by the sinister forces that have been being put together for hundreds of years, decades at least, of the good, the billionaires of the good. You don't hear about this stuff, but I'm going to read it to you. I want you to listen carefully and look it up. NESARA. It's National Economic Reclamation Act. And then the GESARA means global. Right here. NESARA GESARA explains in simple terms the most revolutionary reform that will sweep the world in its entire history. There are powerful forces working at this behind Earth Alliance, beings, high beings of the light in every sector, from the military to the banking, financial, health industry, educational, social systems, are all part of this. We're all part of this. NESARA's National Economic Security and Reform Act. The GESARA is global. It's the same, but it's global. Global Economic Security and Reform Act. This is exciting and definitely the best thing that has happened to all the people in the world. We all took the way of the New World Order, treated us as normal. without realizing that what they were doing was completely illegal in every way. The NESARA GESARA funds will finally see the light of day, and the people will be entrusted with the monumental task of rebuilding a long oppressed world. Now I'm jumping around because I just wrote all these different pages, so just listen and enjoy. The huge force of light from every imaginable angle and realm, starting with each and every one of our prayers, consciousness raising, and good deeds, are ever hard at work, unveiling and winning behind the scenes of an outer world veneer of chaos and disorder. As the clock ticks down on a revelation that promises to shake the very foundations of what we have come to believe, whispers of a hidden war emerge from the shadows, painting an ominous picture, so bold that it challenges the structure of the modern story. The theater takes place not on battlefields marked by the scars of physical battle, but hidden arenas of information, influence, and covert operations. The story is ripe to be told, which is nothing less than a fierce struggle for the very soul of humanity. At the heart of the story is the existence of a power coalition comprised of military personnel from 17 countries, underpinned by the NESARA GESARA law. And these are the good guys. A beacon of global economic reform recognized by all 209 nations, unanimously signed in 2015. This alliance serves as an alliance against a nefarious darkness across the globe known by many names throughout history as Illuminati or Deep State, has covertly exerted its influence across every social structure driven by lust for power, control, and insatiable wealth. Being taken back through these forces of light and NESARA GESARA law, which we are all part of. NESARA GESARA explains in simple terms, I read this once, the most revolutionary reform that will sweep the world in its entire history. National Economic Security and Reform Act, the Global Economic Security and Reform Act, look it up on Telegram, Rumble, Odyssey, or BitChute, not YouTube or Facebook, please. You're gonna get the counter and saying that it's a bunch of hooey, not real. And so look up the page NESARA/GESARA on Telegram, I'm telling you. And you can read back for months. It's going to blow your mind. It's going to be hard to take. It's going to be hard to swallow. It's so huge, so unbelievable, so exciting, so life transforming. You're going to be really, really, really happy. This is exciting and definitely the best thing that has happened to all people in the world. We all took the way of the New World, the way the New World Order treated us as normal, without realizing that what they were doing was completely illegal in every way. And I'm not going into all the details. You can read it for yourself. The NESARA GESARA funds will finally see the light of day, and people will be entrusted with the monumental task of rebuilding a long oppressed world. The quantum financial system, which is the new financial system done on quantum computers, it's so exact that it cannot be corrupted by any banking system, cannot be corrupted, or funds cannot be stolen. You can never be hacked. It's being done through the satellites that are called Starlink, that are the new satellite systems that are replacing the old control system satellites of the old world order. There's a thing called the GVR, RV, QVS, which is reset, the great financial reset, currency reset. are becoming clearer if one understands that the Earth's alliance, which is all the good beings behind the scenes of light that have been working on this, the Earth Alliance formed in response to these historical injustices is now spearheading the movement to implement NESARA, break free from debt slavery, and restore financial sovereignty to the people. The NESARA GESARA laws around the world will be deployed. The introduction of gold-backed currencies by the quantum financial system represents a fundamental move away from the fiat monetary system, which has been manipulated to enrich some at the expense of national economies. All debts are forgiven. Every inhabitant of the planet will be given a monthly allowance. The single tax of, I think, 14%, something like that, will only be levied on new goods. Forgives all credit cards, mortgage, student loans, and bank debts due to illegal banking and government acts, based on that the IRS and the Federal Reserve were all created illegally under the United States Corporation. If you know anything about this, that after the Civil War, just a little bit, we owed England so much money that in order to not pay them back, they said, well, we want all this investment in every area of your government, and somebody complied, and we sold out our country, the Constitution back then, 1870s, 1880s, and we became the United States Incorporated with all this power of England holding over us. Research it for yourself. And what that meant in the 1920s, when the Federal Reserve started and the IRS started, there was all this banking system, all this tax, all the courts, all have been done illegally under the United States Corporation, not under the true Constitution of the United States of freedom and justice for all, we the people. No, it was a corporation, it was a business way back then. And so all this has been illegally, and they've been working on it. The good guys have been working on it for half a century to change it. NESARA GESARA is the key. The law got enacted, and now it's about to come into power. That's why our credit cards are forgiven, mortgages, student loans, bank debts. It's hard to believe. I know you're not going to believe me. You have to do your own research. It dissolves the IRS and eliminates all something taxes. Creates a flat sales tax on non-essential new items only. Food, drugs, and all used items will not be taxed. There's a big increase for senior citizens. We all accepted the idea of the U.S. and the rest of the world moving to gold-backed standard. We know that the current financial system is fiat and spiraling out of control with inflation because it's backed by nothing but credit. It brings back constitutional law back into all of our courts and legal matters, retraining all judges and lawyers in constitutional law, monitors elections, and prevents illegal activities by billionaires and special interest groups. The CGR, which is the global currency reset, is another name or aspect of this whole world-changing shebang. Global currency reset is more than a concept, it's a reckoning. Some believe it is the results of a well-orchestrated plan with roots going back decades. Aren't we ready on every level of reality to see the light of truth? Awaken all to the truth and awaken from the great deception that we actually lived in, the deception that we actually lived in freedom and democracy. The cold reality is that the concentration of wealth and power have been in the hands of the super rich, 0.1% of 1%, who account for 99% of the world's wealth. Much of this wealth is believed to be buried deep in underground military bases called DUMBs, deep underground military bases, vast complexes hidden from the world where unimaginable crimes against humanity are committed. And I'm not going into that at this time. Think the missing children. Think the evil satanic. Think of the adrenochrome, this world sex trade, human trafficking. Man, am I getting hungry. We are looking at an event that will hit the world's economies like a freight train. Unexpected, brutal, and transformative. It's going to be amazingly fair for all. But fair rarely equates with painless. It's a huge, huge process, guys. This is world-changing stuff when we're talking about going from dark to light. World going from a third dimension to a fifth dimension of peace on earth, harmony, heaven on earth. Yeah, that's why we're all working so hard. In the heart of the financial maelstrom, the quantum financial system, QFS, look that up and type that in Telegram, QFS, quantum financial system, emerges as a purported game changer. It's been whispered about, discussed in hushed tones, with terms like blockchain technology, decentralized banking, and digital currency thrown in the mix. A system designed to replace the old corrupt, centralized banking structures that have held us all bondage for centuries. But will the QFS really mean? What will the QFS really mean for you and me, average Joes and Janes, just trying to make a living, staying afloat? To spice things up even further, consider NESARA GESARA protocols. Enveloped and shrouded in controversy and conspiracy, their financial reform proposals carry promise of eradicating poverty, resetting financial systems, putting people back in control of their money. I think that's all the pages I got at this time. So, I just did that in the car before I came out here because it's huge, but my guidance has asked me to be a spokesman for it to I would say, my small community, my small following. But for every person that takes a hold of this by the reins, researches it, and sees what's really going on, get ready, guys, get ready. There's going to be a huge transformative experience that's about to happen to us. Some people say 10 days of darkness. Some people say 3 days of darkness. What that really means is they're having to shut down the electrical grid, the satellites that exist now, so they could start up the Starlink of the good guys. At the same time, they're going to do these mass arrests. They're going to go and get all of the people that have not been arrested yet. A sinister force that have been controlling power structures from banking to, military, medical, every system on earth that have been complicit with the bad guys. And it's giving the time for the reset to happen. So during those times, there's going to be a EBS, which is Emergency Broadcast System, which is used for catastrophes like, hurricanes or tornadoes or nuclear war or whatever, right? Takes over your TV. Well, this is their plan. A long time making. They're going to take over the television, probably all your smartphones, and all you're going to see for those 10 days, well, they think that's going to go on for 10 days, but the power outage was going to be 3 days, so you need to stock up on water for 10. They say up to 10 days, but hopefully it's only 3 days. Archangel Michael writings say it's only 3 days also. And have food and storage for yourself, your family, and your animals. They keep saying this, been saying this for a year now. I know it sounds cryptic and a doomsday prophecy and, you know, screw you. Well, whatever, do what you want. I haven't done it yet, but I need to stock up on rice and beans and water for up to 10 days. Big deal. It's not that big a deal. You drink a gallon of water a day. It doesn't matter. You know how to, you know, purify your water or whatnot. I'm just saying. So at the same time, I know I'm really losing people, but I gotta say it. So what happens is the EBS, emergency broadcast, is going to announce, this sounds far out, it's going to announce everything that's gone on by the dark forces all these years, all these centuries, eons. They're going to explain it all. They're going to run it every day, all day, 24 hours a day for 10 days. That's all you're going to get. That's all you're going to see. That's the only news you're going to get. It's the only stations you're going to get is this coming through. Why? Because, and I know people are going to freak out. People are going to go crazy. People are going to, you know, we're trying to keep down the losses. We're trying to keep down the chaos. We're trying to keep down the fear, the panic. But, so what's going to happen is that the military, this is the military of light, aligned with all the light. This isn't martial law. This is the positive military has taken over the dark military. I know it sounds crazy. And they're going to be in every city. In every city, they're going to be, it's going to be like after a hurricane. There's going to be all this water, food, information, loudspeakers. They're going to be talking to everybody. It's all going to be good and positive. But they're the ones, they say it had to be done this way. The military had to be done this way. There's nobody else that could do it. There's nobody else that could do this without the power of the military, meaning numbers and amounts of people and amounts of soldiers and amounts of, you know, they're all under the highest command of the militaries, are all under the highest command of the highest light forces. And Trump is in command. Trump is the leader that was selected to lead this whole force movement. And if you're not following, if you're not a researcher and you don't follow this stuff, then you can go whatever you want with what I just said. You can go back into watching mainstream news and going back into the chaos of who's right and who's wrong and this who's better and the bad guys and good guys, nobody's good. I'm sorry, those who have done their research, you're going to understand what I'm saying. So dig in, get on Telegram and start. One channel lead to the next, to lead to the next, lead to the next. If I lost some followers, trust me, I don't care. I love you all. I want you all to find peace and harmony and go your way. We all have different choices. We all have the right to have our own beliefs, see things the way we see them. I'm just telling you what I know. And it's what I know. I was forced to research this 5 years ago. And when I found out what was going on in Hollywood and the pedophilia and the sickness and around the world in the Vatican and the missing children, one night I laid in my bed and shook for an hour at the core. I didn't want to learn all that stuff. I didn't want to deal with all that. My guidance made me. And I put it out there on Facebook and places for a while. And people thought I was crazy, and I got kicked off a couple times. Conspiracy theory. Well, what is conspiracy theory? What have we found out? What would you say? Conspiracy theory is now conspiracy fact. So I'm going to keep doing these. I'm going to tell you more and more. I'm going to tell you different subjects. I'm going to tell you about the med beds. I'm going to tell you about the mass arrests. I'm going to tell you about what's really going on in this world, a little at a time. So bear with me if you can handle it. If not, just go back to TikTok, find whatever level of truth and untruth, anywhere in between. People could say, well, that's your truth. That's your reality. That's the truth, your reality in the simulation that you're creating. Okay, sure. That's fine. I'm just sharing what I know, which I'm following, all in the parts of, we all, us seekers all want heaven on earth, right? Peace on earth, and abundance and happiness and health and longevity and freedom for our children and safety to, our children are safe and our families are, right? And that we can afford to live in this world and have the sacred freedom that we deserve. So that's all I got to say. Love you all. Respond, like, subscribe, and I will see you soon.